Good. I was busy typing away and I was hearing something in my ear, but it's Friday and it's time for transportation talk again. My favorite time of the week.
Yeah, it is my favorite time of the week too. It's really good because the way, you know what, our transportation talk time together is like an old friend that you haven't seen for a couple of days, and you just, and you go through the whole week and you've just had maybe a tough, stressful week and stuff like that. And then you open up the door and poof, there is transportation talk right there. And
Woohoo!
everything else just goes away, and you give a big long embracing hug to that transportation talk, and it's like, here we are. And that's
Nice.
what it is. It's a long, big, embracing hug for 30 minutes to get a chance to hang out with you, Kathy, and talk about some pretty cool stuff.
Yes. And I want to start things off on a super positive note because the last couple
Yeah.
weeks we've been talking about the Get There Challenge and
Hmm.
me trying to get everybody out there in our region that's listening to us, that has had an opportunity to tune in, that's seen me in any meetings or bumped into me or gotten an email. It's all been about the Get There Challenge. And so I just want to say
Absolutely.
thank you to everybody that participated, and to drop a couple numbers on you because you know it's easy to think that I'm just shouting into the void, into the darkness, and nobody's listening. But what I want to say is that 1,405 people participated in this year's challenge.
Ooh,
That's a lot of people
nice.
all over
Sure
Oregon.
is.
1,405 people participated. 7,080 achievements were unlocked. So those are those little tasks that, were
Yeah.
part of the challenge this year. That's awesome. 18,200 trips were logged. That's a lot of trips. That
Oh,
adds up
nice.
to 148,000 miles that were logged in 2 weeks by those 1,400 participants. So that's pretty amazing. And I'm pretty excited that that all was able to happen. And, it always just makes me think next year we're going to get more. Next year we're going to bump it up. We're
Yeah.
going to get it even
Right.
more people to participate. We're going to get even
Yep.
more miles logged that will not be in cars by themselves, which it all adds up. And just
That is
my last
awesome,
thing about the
Kathy.
challenges, it's the challenges for 2 weeks, but you can use that same website, getthereoregon.com or
Yeah.
.org, either one, they both work, to log your trips and to motivate
Keep doing
yourself
it.
all
Keep
year
doing it.
long and to be ready for the challenge for next year. So that's my challenge
Yeah.
tidbit. I just, the stress of the challenge is over and now we're ready to move into the next season. And so just wanted to say
Yeah.
thank you to everybody.
Well, and actually, Kathy, I'm sure I could be speaking for a few people out there. Definitely, thank you, for getting us really, in the shape of being able to do that. Thanks for giving us all the notifications and the reminding, and really the great way of explaining that you did, teaching us why it's important to do so. I'll tell you what. I'm going to figure it out how many times, across the country, 100,000 miles, you said is. It would
Yeah.
be very interesting to see what that is. And really, when you look at the numbers, it is so uplifting because it just means that there are people out there who have taken an interest, at the very least, right, to do something like this, to get out there and do that. And the old adage is, we're out here trying to change hearts and minds, right, trying to get people to understand the importance of, looking at these options. And this challenge was a perfect way to get some people introduced to it for the first time. And you're absolutely right. Next year, let's make it bigger, better, and I think that's a possibility.
Yep. I think we can. We'll make it much better next year. It'll be even
That's
better.
awesome.
So yeah.
It's a lot of
So
fun.
now I'm
So
so
that's good.
relieved that the challenge ended right about when, the time is changing. It's staying dark a little bit later. It's getting a little harder
Yeah,
to get up early in the morning. It's getting dark
that's right.
earlier. And boy, have I been feeling Mercury's been in retrograde, and it's just been
Oh
like
yeah.
everything feels like it's a slog up the hill. So, there's so many things, they're all piling on. I don't know about you, but that's how my I've been feeling lately.
Yeah, Kathy, definitely, you know, we have the environmental things that do get us, rain, darker clouds, um, wind. Well, the wind does get a lot of people at times and so forth. And then, like you say, just that longer nighttime period. We're
Hmm.
come out of that wonderful
Hmm.
summer months where, we look at 8 o'clock and we still see a beautiful sunlit day out there. So that's not the case anymore, right? So there's a lot
Right.
of that, just a lot of those things that we might been a little carefree about early on in the summer stuff kind of starting to catch up with this, kind of start
Hmm.
to kind of dam up a little bit. And I don't know if we're really at the point yet. I know in my family we still would like it to be a little brighter out as we're trying to get the girls back and forth to school or to their events and stuff. But hey, we're here, right? And we just
Right.
have to look at it and do it and go
It
through this.
it definitely makes it feel like the daytime light makes the day feel more condensed and makes, creates all
Yeah.
these pressures on you that maybe
Hmm.
you don't realize are there when the days feel longer. You just feel like you have so much more time to do everything. And so,
Right.
boy, whew, it
But
makes it harder to focus sometimes because you're just trying to do so many different things. So I
yeah,
just felt like this is a great
absolutely.
time. It's a great time for us to kind of review and remind each other and everybody out there of all the different things and pressures and uh, influences on our lives and how, maybe we can approach them in a healthier way, or
Yeah.
something that will take some of that stress off of us. Let's talk.
Yeah. Yeah, Kathy, and we're going to start rolling some video here that you and I are going to be talking over. And there's, we're still at a point where there are still a healthy amount of individuals who are working from home and individuals who have now started coming back into the workplace. And so this video is going to be rolling. Everybody out there, these are videos that were done prior to COVID, so there might not be any masks in here. But it's really, we're just trying to highlight um, some things that we might be encountering while we're in the workplace. And Kathy, I don't know if when we're looking at this, we're seeing two people collaborate, okay? And
Yeah.
as we are here in the office, or even when we're remote working and stuff, it is healthy for us to collaborate with other teammates. And we don't know right now exactly what is going on with these individuals, but we could be looking at it and thinking, you know what? They could be having a great collaboration. There could be wonderful ideas being passed back and forth and everything, absolutely zero stress. Or we could be at this point, Kathy.
Right.
And
There could be some
sometimes
hidden,
we
yeah.
there's some hidden stuff sometimes that happens. We started talking, you started mentioning things about, just literally the darker weather, the longer nights and so
Hmm.
forth and everything. And if you look at this video here, you see this lady sitting here working and everything, and it's really darkened in the foreground here. And that's for a reason, because sometimes, and I would like you to say something to this after I bring this up here, but sometimes we get so wrapped up in getting things done, deadlines,
Hmm.
corrections, and a variety of things that a person sitting at a computer desk would have to go through. And sometimes we allow ourselves to break away from those. And we're going to talk later, right? Foreshadowing about boundaries, but
Yeah.
we allow ourselves to break away from those healthy boundaries and get to this point where we're just sitting here, and it's really, we've kind of isolated ourselves, kind of in a dark mood. We're not very happy,
Yeah.
no matter what,
It's
if our desks are clear, right?
it's so easy to get into that place where you're feeling overwhelmed, and I feel like it's especially easy when the days are shorter, when there's more darker times during the day. So good time to remember your office lighting, making sure you're taking breaks so that you're physically staying in a lighter space so that you mentally can also stay in a lighter space, and taking breaks if you feel yourself getting overwhelmed and scrunching by the weight of everything that you're carrying, to be able to take a deep breath and say, I need to step away before I get to being overwhelmed, before I get to the point where I'm
Absolutely.
it's just too dark to get out of.
Yeah, and the previous little clip here, of this is, you're right, bringing up, kind of brightening things up a little bit, and these two are in an office, and they're having a chance to collaborate too, and I think it's just so important. I really appreciate the fact, brightening up your office. Right now my office, well, it is kind of bright, but I've got a lot of, you won't know, you couldn't imagine it, but I got a ton of lights on me right now just to make it. And I got to look good on camera, Kathy. And but regardless,
hey, that's all part of it.
It
it's
is,
all part
it
of
is.
it. It's all part of it. Yeah, that's the
So we
fake
want
it
to
till you
avoid
make
getting
it
to
part.
this.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah, see, and that happens. It happens weekly to us, and a
Sure.
lot of that's because that we have allowed ourselves to kind of get to that point. We haven't built in our surroundings. We haven't maybe remembered some of these things. And you and I, Kathy, I know that we're the ones bringing this information out to people and stuff, but we're susceptible to these things all the time as well,
Absolutely.
right?
We fall into these traps, and it's one of those things that, to me, it's important. Here's the reminder part. If we're feeling like that, it's a right now thing, and we have the
Yeah.
ability to change that. So you can stop and say, right now I feel overwhelmed, I can't do anything else, I can't handle this anymore. So you have to change your scenery, change your perspective,
Yep.
change what you're doing. Take a break.
Absolutely. Yes, you can. Don't forget about that.
Yes, you can. We're
Yes.
going to get back to that.
Yes.
Yes, you can thing.
but so Kathy, so one of the things, what are some of the things that we can do to help mitigate where that last video had us? And trust me, I was recently there not too long ago. If my boss is watching, you were there too, Jeff. You know it.
All right.
We had that. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm so fed up with this project that I'm working on. I gotta stand up. I have to move around. It's good for you to get up. It's good for you to move around. It's good for you to see something different than just the desk, your chair, and a computer screen. And I think this lady here, I think she's working standing up. She's doing a little art project, I'm sure, and everything. She looks very concentrated on what she's doing and so forth. Because standing up and working doesn't mean you're not concentrating on working. I think you had mentioned that in prep a little bit, right, Kathy? That yeah,
no, I think
you don't
it's
have
super
to stop
important.
working.
Yeah, if I'm in a particularly challenging moment in whatever the work that I'm doing, and I've hit a wall and I can't figure out what the next step is going to be, one of the best things I can do is take a break from the computer, get up and walk around, and not only am I taking a break from the work, I don't stay sitting there, taking a lap around your house, taking a lap around the office, physically moving changes your actual perspective, which then can help you change your perspective on the work that you're doing. And then all of a sudden, bingo, the lights start coming on, and you're able to get over that unsurmountable roadblock that you thought was there just moments before.
Unsurmountable. That's a great word on how some things feel sometimes. Even doing the favorite things that I love to do, which is putting together videos, training videos for people and so forth, and everything, and seeing everybody's reaction when they watch it and enjoying it and so forth. But the efforts that it takes at times, you just have to stand up, and you have to either walk away and know, again, foreshadowing, know where your boundaries are, and really stay that, because what we want to do ultimately is have an incredibly productive work day where we don't have to stress to a certain degree. Sure, there's a lot of stress, background stress, but what we don't want to do is jump into that
way of processing it.
Healthy way. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing, Kathy, in this video now that we're kind of looking at this little clip, we're going to see one of the things that, what we find ourselves in currently right now, is we don't get to have really this close face-to-face contact and everything, right? But you had mentioned during prep a little bit that, even though we're going to see this video of people getting together and enjoying to be around, this is a team meeting, right? There's obviously ideas being thrown around, high fives, saying great job, everybody, and a handshake here. But Kathy, what does it mean? We can still kind of, even though we're not face-to-face like this, we can still have at least a a feeling of this, right? And again,
Absolutely. Yeah.
foreshadowing.
And I know I'm basically working from home, so I don't have a whole lot of face-to-face time. It's easy to fall into feeling like you're out in the middle of nowhere and nobody cares and nobody knows what you're doing and
Mhm.
all of those things. It's super easy for that to happen. One of the ways that I find that is a rewarding interaction, face to face would be great, but that's not always possible for everybody.
Right.
And so
Exactly.
another way to do that is to instigate some group or team communications. And I've got to say that, one of the things that I think builds team morale and spirit that I've experienced from working with Sunset Empire Transportation District is the random morning or afternoon emails that people send out saying, with a joke or a meme, or just saying, hey, hope you have a great week. I hope your weekend was great. I hope you have a great weekend. Have a great Monday. Hope any of those things, those build camaraderie and that team feeling that we might have gotten around the proverbial water cooler, as they say,
That is so true.
just doing those different
Yes.
kinds of things that really help keep that team morale going. And so
Yep.
those can come, they don't have to be instigated by the boss. They can be instigated by
Right.
anybody. It just keeps that team feeling going. And really it works in any work environment. And it's the group email. It's not, you're not picking out any
Yeah.
one person to just target, because that can feel a little weird maybe, but you're sending
Sure.
out a group email to everybody saying, hey, I see you, I know you're there, I want you to have a good week.
Yeah, that is excellent, Kathy. And I'm glad that we talked about that, because there is a flip side to that, is when we don't have those, moments when we are so, really in depth with our work and what we do, we can find ourselves kind of isolated. And sometimes those emails, I like to think of them, as lifelines, and
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but there have been several times where an email has come up like that. And I had been, pretty down in the dumps, just slogging away. And it
Mm-hmm.
really kind of rose me up, and it kind of took me out of, this situation here. Now, we don't
Right.
know
Feeling
the
like you're
exact
in a little
situation she's
cubicle
in.
by yourself and nobody cares. That's a horrible
Yeah,
feeling.
exactly. That is a horrible feeling. And all too often we can find ourselves in this point. So all the things that we've said up to this point, really about getting up, walking around, putting ourselves in good situations and so forth, can help us kind of avoid, getting to this point. And that's not to say that there are some people who enjoy some of this. And again, we'll talk boundaries later, right? But the idea
Right.
though is, we don't, if we don't like being on an island, if we don't like being cooped up in a cubicle all by ourselves and so forth, then that email, if anything, I
Yep.
love, Kathy, just same way you do, how it just happens, and there we are, right? But
Yep.
I'll tell you, I sitting here watching this video, I'll probably scrub through it a little bit. So we've talked about some things that we can do, but let's now talk about some of the repercussions, right? To,
Right.
if now
Why
we've
it's
we've
so important.
yeah, we've taken off all of the safeties, right? And
Mm-hmm.
these next few videos, that's what's happened. Whether we as executives or executives, or just anybody out there in the workforce who have taken away their safeties and become so stressed out, get to a point where they start doing things that are huge no-nos. What's this guy
Right.
doing?
You
He's texting
forget.
me,
I mean, and
right?
it's one of those things, it's that boundary thing again, having
Yeah,
personal boundaries, whether it's because of a personal phone call or work, or,
yeah,
reminding ourselves that anytime you're going to leave one place and go to another, whether you're walking and especially when
yep,
you're driving, you got to
absolutely.
stop. You got to stop the
Yeah,
work and leave it where it is and focus on what you're doing when you're doing it.
yeah, it's so important to do that, because and I'm glad we're not going to belabor this to such a degree, but this is a problem, right? And
Right.
here we go. Here's that picture, right? These
Mm-hmm.
people are trying to get home, and they're taking all that baggage with them, right? And they feel they have to
Mm-hmm.
click that last email that they couldn't do in the office, or maybe that they were so crammed with stuff all day long that they didn't have, maybe they worked through all their breaks, unfortunately, right? And was
Mhm.
unable to maybe see a family event that happened. So they got to catch up with what's going on in their own world. And all too often, there are cases where they don't get home to this. They don't get home to
Right.
people and their family to be able to enjoy the holidays, right? I mean, we're coming up
Yes.
on the holidays, right,
So
Kathy? Yeah, I think
yeah,
we're getting to
so
that
many
point.
accidents happen on the way home from work because of all different things. Maybe
Yes.
you worked too late. You didn't quit working
Yep.
when you left and got in your car and you weren't focusing. I mean, with the holidays
Right.
coming up, it's just so important, especially this year, where so many people were not able to spend the holidays with their families and loved ones last
Right.
year.
Yeah.
We want to make
Exactly.
sure that our reminders work to help get more families together this year and in a
Absolutely.
healthy, safe way. So
Yep.
shake off some of that stress before you get in the car, before you get to the holidays, so that you
Yep.
can be present in the moment for yourself and for your loved ones.
Yeah. And being able to really just kind of share this last little clip here, of why it's important. We want to de-stress. We want to leave the stress where it needs to stay. Hopefully we can get back to it not being as stressful, but we need to be able to get back to where when we're at home that we're just getting a chance to do what we want to do, right? Because all too
Right.
often, Kathy, moving into this part here, we
Mm-hmm.
we by allowing and removing those safety nets and so forth, and those safety nets, we're to this point to where we start to affect ourselves physically. I mean, we're talking a lot about mental stuff and everything
Right.
mentally, but holy cow, I don't know about you, but if I don't take care of myself here at work, this kind of stuff happens. My
Mm-hmm.
hands, oh,
Oh,
my hands right now, oh yeah, horrible.
right. All
You
the
know,
tension and the stress, it builds up. Everybody's got their spot where it builds up into. And,
yes, it
you
does,
got, we
absolutely.
have to remind ourselves of the ways to let it go. And sometimes that's just
Yeah,
looking out the window. And sometimes, it
yeah,
takes getting up and moving around, but all of it takes letting it go. Let that work stuff go,
yes.
because otherwise, ouch, ouch,
Oh,
ouch.
yeah. I
Nobody
this is
needs
what I
that.
suffer with a lot. This is horrible. I mean, after a
Oh,
long day, stressful day,
mm-hmm,
I mean,
mm-hmm.
my neck cracks so loud. I swear some people turn around and think that I just like literally broke my neck or something. It's horrible. It's horrible. I need
Oh,
a chiropractor. Oh,
oh,
Kathy, this is horrible too. Like
I
lower
know.
back
Oh, it
pains.
just builds
Yeah.
up and you just, oh, yeah.
Yeah. It just gets you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so, when we're here at this point and we're able to remind people out there that we might not talk about it often, but when we do talk about it, we're really coming from the standpoint, you and I are professionals here. We work at everything that we're talking about, and when we're you're a professional transportation option specialist, I'm a professional mobility manager. There's a lot of stress in our daily lives, and if we don't
Hmm.
mitigate those things by, well, taking our own advice, quite frankly, then we run the risk of really kind of plowing through some of those boundaries, right? Those boundaries that we set
Hmm.
up to protect ourselves, we run right through them.
Right. Yep. And it just,
Not
we
good.
just, especially this time of year, it's important to
Yep.
remind each other, take care of each other, make sure that we're, making sure that we're being as safe as we possibly can, get home to our families and friends, make sure that the holidays are coming up. The dark times affect everybody differently. If
Yep.
you have a neighbor you haven't seen in a while, maybe, knock on their
Yeah,
door and make sure that everything's still okay, and just say hey to them.
that's
And
right.
all of those things are important. Um,
Sure.
because we all know as it gets darker and rainier and wetter, we get out less. And so we have to find
That's
different
true.
ways to release some of that stress and make sure that we're taking
Yeah,
care of each other. So, yes.
do it. So
Uh-huh.
I'm so glad that we had this. Actually, Kathy, it really helped me out. Having this talk with you made me feel better. I had a stressful morning. It was healthy stress, but nonetheless, it was stress.
Hmm.
But it just made me feel a lot better going through these things, calming down a little bit, and then just relaxing and having a really good conversation.
So,
Just what the
Jason,
doctor ordered.
just to finish us off, I got to start us off talking about the Get There Challenge and all the
Oh
successes
yeah.
that we had with that. I want to raise up your latest video that you came out with because I just think it's fantastic and everybody needs to see it because it's another one of those things, you know, we talked about reducing stresses. We also want to talk about the positive atmosphere and positive reinforcement. And there's nothing like reinforcing something by saying, yes, you can.
Absolutely, Kathy. Do you think I can go ahead and play a video that will maybe perhaps encourage some people? What do you think?
I absolutely think you should do that.
Okay, hold on just 1 second and let me go ahead and share my screen again. There we are. I will make this larger. Can you see that, everybody out there in
Yep.
Talk Show Land? Cool. I hope you can hear it too.
Yep.
Joining me today is Sandy McIntosh.
All right.
But that's not what we want to see. All right. Woohoo.
Yes, you can, Kathy.
Can Astoria High School students secure transportation from school to their after-school events?
I think so.
Yes, you can.
Can I reduce traffic congestion in my community by riding the bus?
Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
Can I get to Portland from Seaside using the Lower Columbia Connector? ¿Puedo ir de Seaside a Portland usando el Lower Columbia Connector?
Yes, you can.
Sí, sí puedes.
Morton High School students get to after-school functions using the bus.
That looks like fun.
Yes, you can.
Hey, Jason, I'm trying to get to Portland, and I have limited vision. Can I get some help riding the bus?
Yes, you can, Toby.
Can I get travel training on this bus?
Yes, you can.
I'm right there.
Can I stop by pulling the cord?
Yes, you can.
Can I get to Columbia Memorial Hospital by riding the bus?
Yes, you can.
Can I still ride the bus if I ride my bicycle?
Yoo-hoo! Ride bicycles!
Yes, you can.
So fast.
Excellent.
Can I flag the bus down?
Yes, you can.
Can I read a book on the bus?
I think you can read a book on the bus.
Why, yes, you can.
Can I get to the Fisherman's Memorial from here riding the bus?
Yes, you can.
Hi, I'm a student. Can I ride the bus for free?
Yes, you can.
Can I take the bus today instead of the car to save some money?
The cost is only going up.
Yes, you can.
Can I get to my
Kathy.
favorite vacation spots by bus? Durante mis vacaciones, ¿puedo usar el autobús para ir a distintos lugares?
Yes, you can.
Sí, tú puedes.
I'm a veteran. Can I get transportation to my local medical appointments?
Well, yes, you can.
Can I gain more independence by riding the bus?
Yes, you can.
Can I get to work by riding the bus? ¿Puedo ir a mi trabajo en autobús?
Yes, you can.
Sí, sí puedes.
Can I bring my service dog on the bus with me?
That's an important question.
Yes, you can.
Woohoo.
Can I get on the bus?
Yes, you can.
Can I get to Tillamook using the connector service? ¿Puedo llegar hasta Tillamook usando el connector service?
Yes, you can. Sí, tú puedes.
Hey, I have a temporary disability. Can I get a ride with paratransit?
Yes, you can.
I use a wheelchair. Can I ride the bus?
Yes,
Amazingly,
you can.
people.
Can we birdwatch from the
I'll
bus?
just shut up.
you can.
Can I use $1 instead of the token transit app?
Yes, you can.
Can I use the token transit app to pay for the fare?
Yes, you can.
You know, Kathy, I
There
I'm gonna
is
let this roll 'cause it's
nothing
got
like
information.
that. That's so positive. I just love it.
Yeah, it's really important that people understand that if they can contact me, they can contact the bus. Let's get travel training. We can do it. We can help you get to where you need to go.
Absolutely.
Look at all those people that helped me out, Kathy.
That was so awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot
So
of fun. I'll tell you.
awesome.
Oh,
Jason, I love that video. And I got to tell you, when the week is stressful, just listening to that, yes, you can, yes, you can,
yeah.
yes, you can, that is uplifting in itself. So, you know.
Yes. You know, I heard, okay, so it took me a good long while to script, yes, you can. every day I was thinking, yes, you can. How am I going to script this? Well, it was really easy. And then, I listened to that as I'm editing the videos. I can honestly say I've listened to Yes You Can probably perhaps 2,000 times. There's not a joke. But it never got old. Usually sometimes it gets old when you're editing videos, like, oh, I got to listen to this again. Got to listen to that again. But no, listening to Yes You Can over and over again is really encouraging. So I'm
Awesome.
glad that it had that effect on you, Ken.
Perfect. And that's just the perfect note to go out on. We've used up another half an hour of people's time, and I hope they enjoyed it and got something positive out of it, because yes, you can is the best note to end on.
Yep, absolutely, Kathy. Thank you all very much. Yes, you can have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, you can. See you next week.
Take care. Bye, everybody.